Well, this has become one hell of an opportunity for us. A cup semi-final and a chance at 7th in our first season in the top tier. Both of them give us an outside chance of qualifying for Europe against all the odds. So let's go and see if we can take advantage of either. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 42 of Lifting Spirits with me, Daniel. We are back today for the big chance to reach a cup final for the first time. That in the top tier, I should say. And it is the competition that if we can win it, will take us into Europe against all the odds. The problem is, the other semi-final Islam v Linfield will be playing one of the top two if we get there. But at home to Cliftonville, we've got a chance, so we'll be seeing how we get on in that one. We'll also renew our rivalry with Portadown, a big home game in the battle for 7th place, but we are fighting well above the relegation zone, and that is all I care about at this stage of the year. So if you're looking forward to all of that, two very big games in different competitions, and two chances to really edge close to history, then please do put a thumbs up on it. We've not got an awful lot to reflect on since the last episode. There's been no games, just a bizarre 2.5 week break. It was actually just a good chance to get a lot of them a rest. The fact that the league has split and we're almost certain of survival already, really pleased with our first season up. What we are going to miss out on though, having not made the top 6, is the money that comes from Linfield and Glentoran and the likes visiting us, because virtually every time we played Linfield we had a big dip up in the finances. I'm not quite sure what's causing it to go down so much more at the moment, because we have generally managed it pretty well this year. We've looked after it a lot. And if we look at the income, I mean, it's perhaps a bit of a worry that most of it's come from fundraising, if we're being honest. Perhaps that explains where most of our concerns are. It's going to be a while before we get to enjoy any of the perks of being pro. That's going to be a few years away for those that have been asking in the comments. Without European football, it cannot happen, because every time it goes up, the investment in other small things off the pitch will knock it back down, and we've got to do those to keep afloat. So I'm not too sure that that's going to happen in the next year or two, unless we get some luck, because we have got a chance today to reach the Irish Cup final. That would place us against Linfield or Larne, both of whom in the top 2, so an opportunity for us to really cause a shock and to cement a place in Europe against the odds. But also, if we can get that 7th place, we may yet have a chance, unless Cliftonville go on to win the cup. So the ideal, get to the final, and then even if you lose, 7th place will be enough. Let's go and get through to the first fixture today. Both cup semi-finals taking place at the same time, and a few other games in the league as well. We'll be keeping an eye on Crusaders and on Portadown, because they're probably the two sides that can catch us realistically. Let's go and get through the tactical meeting. We'll concentrate on the cup. There's a lot of excitement in town. It's our biggest game in terms of cup competition so far. I know we won that small cup in the 3rd tier of Irish football, but here we're talking about the big national competition. Let's go and get through to the team selection. 5,500 fans. So that must be at Windsor Park, is it? It is indeed. So a neutral venue, no home advantage. Let's get our 11 in place. We'll be back in a minute to run through it. Well, one or two big calls perhaps today, but generally speaking, I've tried to play it safe. I've even put a goalkeeper on the bench for this one. I'm really taking it seriously. So our 11 in 4 is Ethan Ross in goal, Bell and Dobbin the fullbacks with McDowell and Orkin as centre half, Levingston and Crowe in midfield, Convey and Latifa on the wings, and then Coffey behind Leon Boyd up front. They're all having a decent season, they're all finally well rested. If anything, they're lacking a bit of match sharpness, so let's go and get into it, see if it works out in our favour. It's the Irish Cup semi-final, and this is a real chance to create history. And here we go, against the side we enjoyed managing so much in FM20. I think our first official foray on the channel into Northern Ireland. They've still got a few of those players as well. Levi Ives doing well, Rory Hale's a good player, and Ronan Hale's there as well now. And in goal they've got Dylan Berry, currently on loan at a local club to me, St Albans in real life. So someone I've seen play live a couple of times. Let's go and get through though. They've got quality and experience on the bench, but for us, we've got to focus on ourselves. Can we put in a performance to be proud of? Can we deliver on a big stage? Because we've often tried to restrict teams to 0-0s and we've been okay at that this year. But at Windsor Park, at the National Stadium, a big crowd in as well, mostly supporting the visitors. This might be a day we start to freeze. You can see which side of the ground's more full. You can see which colours are out in more force. So let's go and get into the first half and see how we compete. And to be fair, in spite of the occasion, it's been a very quiet quarter of the game to start as Dobbin picks the ball up in the right back area, plays short to Orkin, and we will try and play out, but that's awful. Was he offside? It doesn't matter. Hits the post. That is an absolutely atrocious way to give away a chance. Really not showing our quality there, and giving the ball away in those areas is going to lead to goals eventually. We get away with absolute murder. We win a free kick when we were under big pressure, but trying to play out from the back, they're pressing us high, and at the moment is catching us out. Look at the stats for the game. 6 shots to 1. We very rarely concede a lot of chances like that. As Crow picks the ball up in the middle. Was the man I think who gave it away earlier. Finds Coffee this time though, who shoots over the bar. With half an hour gone, we're just starting to come into it. I'm going to encourage the lads to get them through to the break, and hopefully it will still be goalless. If it stays that way for a long time, we've got a great chance of being in this match. And in fairness, it's done exactly that. Both of the Hales have been booked for Cliftonville. We've managed to keep it down to 0-0 despite a nervy start. Those of you that followed us in FM23 will know, when it got to these big games, semi-finals, finals, we made a real habit of playing awfully and nicking 1s and 2-0 wins. And it's despite the fact that the game's largely been against us. I'm going to drop to a cautious mentality because you can see we're just getting overrun a bit on the bigger pitch with a bit more pressure on us. And I hope that we can nick one here, as it's a poor delivery from Convey, doesn't beat the first man. Dobbin does really well to recycle possession. Bell finds Orkin. Back again. Big long ball over the top. And we see Leon Boyd quite often play poorly in these big games, which we haven't been able to show many of on camera this year. We've been focused on the battles at the bottom. But the reason he doesn't have good games is because we don't create anything. We get pressured when we're trying to play out from the back. We end up inevitably going long, and it goes over the top through to the keeper. We've not got that through the needle quality for those through balls yet. Coffee potentially can develop into that. We're looking at upgrades for centre mid as McDonough puts one just wide. But Levingston, Crow, they're probably the weak spot of the team. So next year, we know what the priority is. For now, though, there's 25 to go. I'm not going to make changes yet. I'm going to wait it out because we've had a long rest. They're not going to fatigue quickly. And this is the best team we can put out. So what's the point in trying to fret and trying to change things? As Kane loses out to Orkin in the air. Coffee brings it down. Despite all of what we've said, despite what the stats say, it's 0-0. And one chance on the break could change everything here. Not with a ball like that though. Leon Boyd is never going to win those. Put them in behind. Play wide first, whichever option. Just don't hoof it straight at the centre half. Kelly puts the cross in, Hale up, good header away, Boyd can't get there though, McDowell away the second time, Crow flicks on, a little bit of head tennis there, but it's going to lead to a red card because Levi Ives has dived in, he already had a yellow, and that might go in our favour because a striker comes off for a defender, and now with 20 to go, 0-0, but we've got a man advantage, so let's get back up to balanced. Let's get Levingston off for the experienced Aaron Jarvis. I'm not going to change anything else just yet. But I want to see if that makes a difference. Let's try and get a bit of control. Let's try and find those through balls. And let's try and nick a 1-0. I'm going to bring on McGill a right back for the very tired Dobbin. I'm also going to bring off Coffee for Killian Heaney in the number 10 role. Buchanan could come on. It's going to be, I think, for James Convey. Or is it going to be Latifa? Straight swap on the right. Let's make it easier. And we'll save the last sub 5 more. So with 10 minutes to go, we're back in the game. We've got an opportunity. Let's encourage, let's push forward, and let's see if we can nick a winner. Well, it doesn't look like it. We're reaching extra time. It is still 0-0. And now having a goalkeeper on the bench is a problem because we don't have that extra sub to make the change. What I am going to do is put McGill in at centre-half for Orkin. In fact, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put Donaghy centre-half. He can play on the right of the two. I know he's left-footed, but he's a proper stopper. Bell could come off at left back. In fact, we could do both, couldn't we? Donaghy out to left back. McGill on. McCabe goes out there. A stopper for McDowell and a cover for McGill. We have got extra time to go. We've got the man advantage. Is the physical edge going to pay off? That's what I want to know. Is a goal kick in the first minute of it for Dylan Berry of Cliftonville. He'll be looking long. They'll be going a bit more direct. They've virtually missed out a midfield now. They've got 2 wide men, a back 4, and then just chuck 3 running forward as Donnelly down the left. Cross into Kane. It's too easy. And unfortunately, at the important point, the subs have made the difference. Cliftonville go ahead in the 92nd minute. We've now got to push forward. We're going to go positive. We're going to encourage these lads. We need to get a response. It's now or never. You've got to say, it is a bit of a worry that they're still dominating the match with 10 men. Even though they've got less fitness on the pitch, even though they've got less players on the pitch, they're making it look relatively easy at the moment. As Casey at left back picks the ball up, goes inside to Smith, who looks for the long ball forward, only as far as McCabe, the substitute. He hoofs downfield. That is not the tactic at all. And we're playing into their hands. It's really poor. McDowell goes short to McGill. That's a little bit better. Looks wide to Buchanan. Short to McCabe. Don't you break that tactic again. McGill picks it up at centre-half to Crow. This is better. Turns on the ball. Runs into midfield. Across the halfway line to Convey. Got an overlap on the left. Instead cuts inside. Has options right. Buchanan's won. The young super sub. What a man he is. Of course he's out of our academy. Of course we've got a soft spot for him. But that is a lovely finish. Composed, delicate, and a brilliant run behind the defender. It's 1-1. We do not deserve it. But now we're back on terms and we've still got that man advantage. Can we take the momentum with us? We're going to encourage yet again. Still a few legs struggling out there and definitely a few minds as Elwood gets the ball to Hale. Boyd nicks it for Heaney. This is the chance to make the cup final. Convey on the left, 2 making a run. He's got to wait because they've run offside. There's 4 in the box now. First cross is blocked. Second one's good. Buchanan's up again. Head's just over the bar. Oh, it's getting closer. It's the first time in this match I've genuinely felt we're on top and we've got the chance to get forward, but I don't think it's going to come. I'm going attacking because I feel this is our best chance rather than penalties. As Convey puts it in again, it's a penalty kick. Convey will step up as he always does. He's generally quite reliable, but I'm absolutely petrified. Why is the keeper gone? What is happening? I left it on Convey. I definitely selected him. This one isn't me. This is a glitch. Oh, the goalkeeper stepping up. Ethan Ross is either going to score the most important first goal of his career, or we are about to be furious at a little glitch. Why did I even look at the taker? Oh my word, I could not be more unhappy at the moment. James Convey, not a great penalty taker anyway. But what on earth was happening there? We checked the taker was Convey. It stayed the same, and then it went to Ethan Ross. We've still got a chance to win it though. It's gone with that long kick forward. What is it with goalkeeper glitches this season? I know the last one was our fault, but there was no warning sign for it. And here, it's just cost us a place in the final. Of all the ways for it to happen, that looked a foul as well. McGill clears long downfield. There's 20 seconds left. We ain't going to score after that. Long ball forward to McMurray. McDowell does well. And Ethan Ross, you're going to have to make amends in that penalty shootout. Let's just hope he doesn't have to take another one, shall we? As Convey on the left-hand side cuts in. There's a few seconds left. It's not going to count. He's up to penalty taker number 1 there. I've no idea why. Let's get it set up. Convey and Heaney already there. We'll put the rest in as need be. And we'll be back in a moment to run through the penalty shootout and our chance at the Irish Cup final. Oh, what could have been. Here we go then. Cliftonville have the advantage of going first. Ethan Ross dancing like a lunatic on his line. But it doesn't work. It's a really well-placed penalty. Keeper went the right way. Was never getting to that corner. And now James Convey tries to do the same. He steps up left-footed. Would have taken the one to win the match. And if he'd done that, we would have been in the final. It's 1-1. We're on terms so far. Josh Kelly, the first of the subs to step up. He comes right-footed. Will the keeper make amends? He does. Ethan Ross saves it. No, he doesn't. Hits the bar. I've always had the problem with that camera angle, but Ethan Ross has managed to be in goal while one was missed. Lots of dancing goalkeepers here as Heaney puts his down the middle. And we're back on the front foot. Yes, we had that disappointment in the last minute of extra time, but Johnny McMurray is now trying to get this team level. Cliftonville step up. Right-footed. Good pen. Sends the keeper the wrong way. Who is next for us? It's McDowell, the centre-half. We know we're going to get the dancing goalkeeper. Oh, he's not moving this time. Left-footed, the centre-half. Oh, that's a great pen. Looked like an awful technique as he ran up, but just slid it in the corner. Lovely stuff from him. And now Casey, who came on for that red card earlier on. He's right-footed. He steps up. How has that gone in? I was already celebrating the save. It went through the goalkeeper. Through him. I don't think I've ever seen that in an animation before. Oren Crow, now it's back level. Another glitch as the ball went through a goalkeeper, physically through him, and Oren Crow misses. It's sudden death. 4 penalties each taken, 3 always the score. Elwood puts his in the corner, and this is now the problem we're going second. You're always under pressure, and it's Leon Boyd for us. He might be a great goal scorer. He might be a very good striker. His penalty taking rating is 2, and there is only one player better left, and their rating is 3. So this is going to be a problem. He looked calm, he looked confident, but what is he going to do? He's going to miss. Cliftonville are through. We miss a penalty in the last minute of extra time after a glitch gives it to the wrong taker, and then we lose on penalties despite being ahead when we'd each taken 3. 2 misses in a row, we're out of the cup. On the balance of play, we deserved it. We gave a good effort. It's a good sign for the future. Now we'll be back in a minute to focus on the league. And this is where the problem comes from playing 120 minutes plus penalties at the weekend. 3 days later, we've got an evening kickoff against Portadown, probably the biggest game after this league split. And just like the title race last year, we're battling it out for something. There's a lot of changes being recommended. I'm guessing plenty of this team isn't going to be fit. If we have a look at it, yeah, particularly defensively, we're a little bit short. Let's go and make the changes we need to. We'll be back in a minute to confirm the team. Okay then, here's what we're going to go for. I'm not as worried about the very slightly fatigued ones, particularly with 5 changes now. In midfield, Oren Crow out for Levingston and Jarvis, who will be the 2 in there. And then I've dropped McDowell out completely, who was knackered. He's been replaced by McGill in the 11, and then Shea Lucas, who was cup-tied. He comes back into the squad. And I've also given Barry Coffey a little rest. Had a few poor games in a row. Johnston back in on the left wing, Convey in number 10. And we're still strong, so let's go and get into it. It's Portadown the visitors, the battle for 7th, and if Cliftonville lose that final, it could yet be a place in the European playoff. And here are the teams. We've got a man in Gorn who scored a hat-trick against us this year. He's on the bench. McGinty scored a winner against us this year, I'm sure as well. He's on the bench too. But they've still got a pretty good team. They've got a lot of depth. They've got a good defensive side as well. And with 2 changes made, with a much better rest than us at the weekend, they've now got the advantage tonight, certainly physically. And we're back almost immediately with Portadown on the front foot. Orkin heading away the long ball. It's picked down by Jarvis, but it's just sort of pinball in there. No one able to get it down, no one able to take control until Chris Johnston does just there. Cuts inside, plays it back to McGill, and Jarvis with an element of control finds Orkin. Chance to carry the ball forward. Just play short to Jarvis and Levingston. No one really looking for that penetrating pass yet. Orkin might be the man, he's not. Short to Dobbin and Jarvis. He normally is that person, but just plays backwards. It's good football, it's good possession, and given the fatigue, we're probably going to need a bit of this tonight. Jarvis does look now towards Boyd, just under hit. Convey can't win the second ball. It's long downfield. McGill gets it again. Goes for the big punt. The defender's made a hash of it. Leon Boyd is in, and Leon Boyd scores in the 4th minute. Brilliant work from the centre forward. Disappointment at the weekend to miss that penalty, and he bounces back in the perfect style. Not sure about Ben Hall's defending. I'm sure he played for the Northern Ireland first team. But here he's made a crucial error. As Portadown are back on the front foot, Maguire crosses. Bell's at the back post, does really well with it. Johnston flicks on as far as Wilson. One touch, goes for a lovely reverse ball. Russell picks it up left side of the box. Do not foul him. Cuts inside, back to Maguire. Hassim back. He's the man who signed from us, isn't he? What's he doing starting here? He's not that good. Wilson picks it up again. Shot's just over the bar. And we're back at the other end, nearly a quarter of the game gone. Levingston puts a corner in. Orkin can't quite win it, and it's out to Convey on the right. He's playing well in that central position. Not been there a lot this year. Goes for the shot there, though. That is absolute genius. He almost sort of, not even curled it, he dinked it from 25 yards. The goalkeeper was slightly off his line and out of position, and he just dinked it off the underside of the bar into the top corner. It's a really clever goal from James Convey. He does that from time to time, and his 2-0 is looking really good for us. And I would say we're 10 to the break, we're looking good for 7th place, and with that, maybe that European places playoff. Of course, we'll be up against the likes of Glantoran, Ballymena, and maybe even Cliftonville in 6th. It doesn't look likely we'll win it. It'll be a great experience yet again, as Bell gets the ball back to Orkin on the opposite side, but finds a left-footed cross, and the header away is poor. Falls straight for James Convey, and he thunders it into the roof of the net. He is playing well as the number 10, and he's given me food for thought. 5 to the break with 3-0 up. This is probably our best ever performance against Portadown. As Bell gets the ball on the left again to Johnston. A far cry from the first day of the season as Convey's in for a hat-trick. Hits the post. Latif had just beaten to the rebound. Cleared downfield as far as ball day. Orkin fouls him. That'll be another yellow for him. He's a regular with those. Gets away with that one though. And at the break, it's the perfect half. It's 3-0. It's not performance-wise, been as good according to the stats. We saw the one at the start of the season. We had 20 odd shots. We had about 10 on target and we just couldn't take them. Here, been a little bit better. Most of the lads happy. We'll give it 15. Then we'll get some of the youngsters on. And at the hour mark, with those two tired defenders struggling, we will look at the subs. Chris Johnston not had the best game, but I'm not too worried about him. Let's look at the others on yellows and with fatigue. So Shea Lucas, he will come on as centre-half. He'll replace Orkin, and we'll also bring on Donaghy for Dobbin. McGill will go out to right back. Donaghy can play left centre-half. Shea Lucas can play on the right of them. We'll have a cover on this side. We'll have a stopper over here. It's definitely what Donaghy does best. And he'll be up against Balday then, the tall centre forward too. We're going to take off Convey. Don't want to risk a red. Killian Heaney will be on for him. And then Buchanan is going to replace probably Chris Johnston. I'm going to take him off on the left. Latifa will switch sides. He'll be an inverted winger on support. And then the final sub, we've got Crow's tired. I'll leave him. McCabe we have to pay to bring on. So let's go for Barry Coffey. He will replace Aaron Jarvis. I want him fit for the weekend too. It's 5 changes made. The whole spine of the team. Now let's go and see how they finish this match. 3-0 up. It should be game safe. But it only takes one moment to change that. As we've got a goal kick with Ethan Ross. Playing out from the back to McGill. Now out at right back, the skipper has been given his extension for another year, so we'll be here till the end of next season. But he loses out in the air and it's a long ball forward. Donaghy deals with it well. Levingston back to Lucas. Not sure he's played right centre-half for us before. Goes long. It's not really following the tactic, but we'll forgive him at the moment. Hall just hoofs it downfield. Up goes the man, but Gallagher beats him. And now Donaghy's going to try and get across. Will he make it in time? He doesn't. It's a poor deflection and it's straight in. 2 minutes after the subs. And we've still got half an hour to hang on. I might end up regretting doing this early. So we are back at the other end a couple of minutes later. Boyd and McGill playing a 1-2 from the throw. Ball into the box and Curtis Bell doing exactly what Dylan McLean used to. Scores his first goal for the club. Up at the back stick with a big header. And Curtis Bell makes it 4-1. He's been a gem this season. He's going to get a big offer eventually. With 15 minutes to go, that is surely game 1. And with it, 7th place should be in the offing. With 6 points clear of them. Crusaders lost to Dergview at the weekend, so they're not getting closer. I do believe we'll do it. As Levingston loses out there. Through ball to Chapman. Lucas, what are you doing? Gives it away to Connaughty. Oh my. He cannot play right centre-half, can he? A fault for both goals now. Not natural in that position. We've got some regrets. The substitutions aren't strong enough. But at least we're finding out here where we need to make our squad stronger next season. We're definitely getting the key areas highlighted. As Connaughty picks it up on the right again. Chips forward. Donaghy's missed it. Chapman's in. We might need to be careful here. There's 2 goals in it. I'm going to praise them. Try and get them back on board. But this has not been a good finish to the game. Lisburn Distillery 4, Portadown 2. A bonkers game given how most of our season's been. But we get the win. Overall, it's the perfect recovery. Now let's go and look when we're going to be back. Well, no doubt that James Convey was star of the show. It leaves us 6 points clear with 12 to play for from Portadown. 9 clear of Crusaders. The rest can't catch us. We're safe. We've done the main objective this year. Disappointment in the cup. Such an annoying glitch because I feel we would have got through if Convey had taken that penalty. But it doesn't matter. We're in a brilliant position. We've still got a chance at European football, albeit a lot of stars would have to align. And a lot of big performances would have to come. But that's going to be the big question next. We will be back for the final 2 games of the season, Glenarvan and Dergview. But the big question for me is, will they be our final 2 games of the season? If we manage to wrap up 7th place before, and it looks like we're going to have a playoff, I will just come back for Dergview and then hopefully the playoff game too. If not, it will be the final 2 league games to see if we can decide it. Of course, we'll probably get closer to finding out against Crusaders before. But if you did enjoy this episode, heartbreak, glitches and frustration in the Cliftonville game, then please do put a thumbs up on it. It is the final regular episode before Christmas, so I hope you have a good festive break. We will have a top 3 tomorrow, so something a little bit different. And then the stories will resume, starting with the head coach and a very special episode on Boxing Day. So fingers crossed you'll come and join me for that. You can find all the other links up in the eye above. The Twitch channel, the podcast where we'll have championship predictions for Boxing Day, and of course so much more, including the sponsor HelloFresh. Please do check that all out. I hope you have a good festive break, and I'll see you back here in a few days' time for the final game of the league season.